Hello, how we doing? Remember this game? We were here once before. Remember this sound? We heard it just before. Speaking of, anyway, moving along. I would carry it on, but nah. So, what did we do last time? I'm trying to remember what I did last time, and I don't remember. Even though it was literally 24 hours ago. We made uranium. Apparently, I've already used up uranium to some extent. That is a thing, and also, wow, that's actually been ripped through pretty quickly. Did I research? I think I did. Um, I could search it, but I'm not going to. That one. Okay, needs the space optimization, which is space cards. To improve that, quantum computer. Actually, not far off some of this crap. If I was to sweep up some of this other. Oh, that's the one that gets the MSite going. We do need that. So I need to get the Covarics going to get better power going, get nuclear going, and eventually fusion. Then we need to start mining MSite. Ooh, Michelle. Hey, Michelle. Um, so as an experiment, do exclamation mark leaves. It should be reset to 0. Everything should be reset to 0. Yeah. And the experiment is, I'm going to see if it starts counting again. If it does, then yay, it's fixed. I do want the night vision as well. Trouble is that in its own right is immersite based, which means mining immersite. I do need to get the inserter crap going too. I want. In fact, I'm gonna. Holy crap, that was a big sneeze. Hey, Spellmaster, there you are. You missed out on the perfect heist earlier. I want to get all the inserter bonus stuff going, so I really want to tick that off. And that'll be a science that can tick away in the background. I think I muted that in time. I'm pretty sure I didn't blow your ears out with a sneeze. Oh yeah, we also got the railgun turrets going. Railgun turrets? Those things. Railgun turrets. It is a railgun turret. Why is it not showing? Oh, yeah. Is it showing everything? Or some things? Yeah, Stinson lost too many heights, so he rage quit. Okay, it's only filtering some of them. It's filtering the exclamation mark, but not the rest. Ah. I think I've inadvertently broken something. Okay. Duly noted. Which means I'm aware of it. It'll probably take 6 to 8 weeks to fix it. Uh, now, I came over here for some crap. Although it does have some uses for me. So I might leave it as is. Alright, let's grab some of that crap. Then we're going to need to... Alright, let's fix up that... We'll fix up... Did I remove the radar from that? Or did I remove power from that? I may... It doesn't look like I removed power from it. I may have removed power from it. I also did experiment to see if I could give Factorio bots a negative number. Sadly, the Streamlabs bot sanitizes input. Why won't that? Dear. There's my train. There's my train. Alright, first step. We need to go lure there. Oh, red screen. Oh, hi. Are you there, bonus can? I was actually thinking earlier that I haven't heard that in a little while. Alright, you park up there for a tickle. Yeah, let's clean up this crap. And then immediately gone. Only the OGs know. This is true. Yeah, I was actually going through all those a little while ago. Yeah, most of them we don't hear very often now. They've somewhat fallen out of circulation. Probably wouldn't hurt to add some new ones as well. There we go. The satisfaction of slightly tidying it up. Yay! We won! We won! Then we've got a Pachow over there. I mean, you're competing with Nightbot. I mean, what do you expect to happen? It's Nightbot. Nightbot has it's kind of like when the mafia boss gambles. It just always wins, no matter what. I also didn't check which way these were going, so that's a thing. That probably is going to cause issues for me later. Probably should also maybe do it that way. Park up there. I nearly built a pistol. Alright, you unload. I like how I did the same thing here with the output. At some point I should really consider getting the Mark II miners going, because they are, for all intents and purposes, better. It's a glacier as well. How you doing? Up around there. If I have more of these things, and I do. At least I would assume. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 9. So, combine those together makes 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is macro, but it requires effort. How's the day going? Pretty good, now that the day's nearly ended. So 1, 2, 5, 6. See, what I'm trying to do is eliminate my need. I mean, I could just build an 8-way. There's literally nothing stopping me. I might just do that. Just be done with it, instead of trying to be clever. A lot less faffing. Clowntown's favourite pastime. I think I can afford to get rid of that mining drill, if I'm completely honest. I think I can afford it. I could also fix these poles, and I'll never hear the end of it if I don't, so I'd better do that. My general attitude is I'm only ever going to see it twice, so I might as well just not bother most of the time. Like, you build it once, that's the first time you see it, and then when you're demolishing it, that's the second time I see it. Alright, belts. Oh, wow, there's an old blueprint book. You can park yourself there. It does, yes. I mean, for all intents and purposes, it doesn't really gain that much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is actually compared to the other one as well. The four-way one's a throughput one. This one isn't. You actually have to glue 2 together to make it throughput equal 1. Because there's only... The reason that is there's two parts. So when you have 4 belts going in here, 2 are forced forward over to here, and 2 are forced over to here. So if you have 4 belts coming in here, and you want 4 belts coming out of here, you can only get 2 belts out of it. But when you stack 2 together, these 2 that go over here eventually get pushed back over to here. So because it enters here, you got 2 that go up there and 2 that go over there. And that's what makes it full throughput. How many do I have total? Loving all the commands. Unfortunately, there is a cooldown on sending those commands, so it ignores, if you send like 3 all at once, it ignores the subsequent ones. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I suppose just 8. Took like 60 to make. 60 minutes. 60 hours. Can't have been 60 hours. Yeah, alright, I'll switch this back over. It lasts that long, but that's fine. I like how I'm spending way too much naming. Oh, I forgot to... Keep forgetting to do all that crap. Out of the way, you stupid trees. Can't see what I'm doing. It's also dark. Dark o'clock. So I can't see what I'm doing. Oh, 3 or 4 stairs. I have kept them in the list so that they are accumulating. I probably should remove the thingy that lets you redeem them. Trouble is, there's nothing really you can do with channel points otherwise than redeem crap like that. Okay, there we go. So you do the thing, you do that thing. There we go. The other thing-a-ling, that I probably should do, that I have kind of been ignoring, is... can I... Oh, it's so close. Can... Here we go. Pollution. Is automating enabling the stop when there's enough material available. That's the only thing I'm missing now. Okie day 2, 4. It's pretty much at the point where, because it's going through a balancer, that's it. It's basically balanced already. Other thing, the other thing that I was thinking of, if I can words, switch back to YouTube again, and then there won't be any points. I have actually been considering that as an option, but I've kind of been liking the idea of doing it here and then VODs over there. Oh, I'm out of belt. Boo. Can do. Just cheese it a little bit. Bam. Bam. What's the point then, he says. Oh, now I'm out of those builds. Oh well. Well, at least I got the whole thing built anyway. And at the same time filled my inventory up with crap. Hello, what I assume to be Dinobot. Glad you can make it to the party. I line those up there and there. And there, that would be oh so much more convenient. It was Dino? Of course it was. I was super duper keen I would actually use the medium container as well and do cheese balancing. Cheese balancing because it's physically bigger. I think it's 2x2 and then warehouse is 3x3 from memory. So effectively it's just a giant balancer. You have much better latency today. Ooh, it's gone down, has it? Should probably add a request for wires. I'm going to start using more and more. And a combinator. Where is the train? I have no idea. All I see is pollution and wires. Where is the train? This troubles me. Oh, you found your way there. Huh. That's a bit of an issue. What I was interested to know and remind myself of was how much do you hold? Hoping that I can remember. Was it 8k per thingy? That for 16, I think, yeah, 16k total. So if you're anything greater than 14,000, outputs an L of 1, which I can then plug into the train stop, and then we set train stop limit, and that enables the train to come. Which is all very dandy and grand and balloody. Now I'm going to need to add another iron train, which I should probably do now actually, seeing as though that one's stuck there. Probably a terrible idea, but I'm going to put it there. I mean, it's an unloader and it's not loaded with anything, so it's probably fine. Also, why is it dark again? How dare you be dark again? See, if I didn't throw the turrets into the crafting machine, I would have turrets. A warehouse of 500. Yeah, it's 500 by 200, which is a lot of crap. I might pull this a little bit closer. Doop, 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 doop. Hopefully I won't get spit at. There we go. Also, holy crap, that was loud. It's kind of funny, the rangers so far, they sort of get excited into attacking... What are you... Oh, spit, that's why. All I need is a laser artillery. Is that a bot? I think so, yeah. They're sort of forming attack groups. Can also do this with laser turrets, which also... Oh, they don't have as good a range as railgun turrets, and railgun turrets nearly always one-shot everything. Right, you get healed. Ammo. Okay. Oh no, one more. I thought I'd killed all the spawners, but no, one more. Killed all the biters at least. And turn before you get killed. I do like spider killing with these things. Might not necessarily be the fastest and most efficient way, but it sure is it sure is the most entertaining way. Spider killing eventually gets quite repetitive, so I've got to keep it interesting somehow. Just collateral damage trees along the way. I feel like you're trying to tempt me in a sort of tangential way into getting SE installed. Maybe once I've done everything here, I could do that, but I don't think. My understanding is you can't go crazy with SE. I'm gonna need some of that crap. There goes another bomb. Probably fine. You are replaceable. Hey, Fallen Angel. Yeah, we've been doing some K2 lately. We'll even have some VODs up soon in the next day or two. From what you see, you do end up going crazy with SE with just different kind of scaling stupid bases. It's sort of the conclusion I came to was that it's just complicated for the sake of complicated. Hey, Fallen Angel with a 33 months.
Month for you.
Yay, +1. Thank you very much. I see Veldex very much keen on the love and hype and honk and snugs already. Thank you very much for pressing the button for another month. Really appreciate that. My brain's divided into two places, and now don't brain good none no mores. I kind of want to take out that, but I kind of want nukes to take it out. Glacier, cleaning it out. Zolder, drop it in. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, it's a space exploration as it's all about logistics, not about well, I suppose the whole game is about logistics, really. But you're trying to solve logistics issues rather than having a solved logistic issue and then scaling up or such and such as. Already done miners. Damn. Oh yeah, and a pipe nightmare. Or everything is in pipes. I've forgotten about that one. Right, so what do I need for mining drills Mark IIs? Rare metals, okay. It's very likely such a thing exists already. I'm outside the bot network, aren't I? Yes, I am. Bring me my crap. I wonder... There's this thing that I've sort of been tickling on the back of the head is linking this thing... I'd forgotten. I keep thinking about it and then forgetting it. Is having the excess go into here, so you end up with this infinite loop of overproducing and then grinding up the excess. It just seems dumb. I suppose there's one way to make a resource sink. It's just produce a whole lot of... Like, you're producing Spidertrons a minute, and then feeding them into grinders so you can make more Spidertrons. I don't know what the loss rate is on a Spidertron though. I think that's something we're going to need to science. Is how much do you lose if you grind up a Spidertron? Oh, it's so dumb. Yeah, with the prod mods. This is all base game stuff. They're nukes and other shells. I would stamp it over the top, but for reasons of not breaking it, I don't really want to. At least not yet. Until I get the better thingy, the better assemblers. I mean, well, I suppose I have them. I just need to craft them. Ah, fusion reactors. Some things don't return anything, like stone furnace. I imagine that would be the case. I imagine that for quite a few things. Also sneeze again. I know it's in here somewhere. There's actually a fair argument against this thing. That's the rockets again. Unless it's a part that I didn't slap down. I don't think I have that module built, but it doesn't matter. Just speed ones. That can't be done. That's that again. That's this part here. Doors 1, 2, 3. Beacon, beacon. It's all row bits. Where's that? There. Can I see it in the overall view? Probably not. Here I am squinting at the screen. Ah, there it is. Found it. Oh, there it is, there. No wonder I couldn't see it, because it was already done. There's no good argument against a circuit-based ME, because there's vastly more interesting design than building every other solution. That is the only reason why I do it, is because it's vastly more interest. Like, anyone can just have a row of assembly machines, like, oops, a row of assembly machines, you know, an innie and an outie, and an innie and an outie, and it's, you know, it's all very proper, and it's all very compact and optimized. It's no fun. It's not as fun as this. Something I need to do at some point. I have a variate. Didn't even think I pressed C that time. At least it doesn't do damage. That's right. I remember finding that out last week or 2 weeks ago. Yeah. I do have one where these are all in a singular row, but I never completed it. That way you don't lose space with these two tiles here where the combinators are. It's just I think it was a little bit longer from memory. Also shells. Which one of you holds the secrets? You. That means I need to put that here. I could just throw Electric Mining Drills Mark III in. What do the circuits do here? So this system, you put in what you want, and it will always maintain this number in the network, in this robot network. So what that effectively means is that it will always craft the exact amount of items that you call for. If I was to throw down a buffer chest, hold on to these things, such as these, like that. And then when you take stuff out, it will automatically create more. The fanciness in this system is that it automatically, so each item Why aren't you... Oh, you're a fusion core. Why? This is why I don't do... This is why I don't do modded blueprints. Yeah, that's there. Yeah, it says a fusion core. This sort of thing happens all the time with modded blueprints. Yeah, that's right. It's got the ingredients for it, but the icon's wrong. As I say, that happens all the time with modded blueprints. As things get shuffled about. So yeah, when you call for... So in this case, it's calling for an electric mining drill Mark II. The recipe is stored in this combinator here, and that then gets pushed. So then these items get pushed out. So steel gears, rare metals, and an electric mining drill Mark 1. So if you want one of these, it's going to need a mining drill Mark 1. So that signal gets sent out and then processed back in. And if I actually hover over this, you'll see it says 97 mining drill Mark 2s on the right there, and then 60 Mark 1 drills. In turn, it's requesting. And so it cascades down. And that's where its killer feature is, I guess you could say. Its key feature is. So not only does it make the things that you ask for, it automatically asks for the prerequisite items all the way down to plates and things. And then puts them in if they're available. Like, it'll keep cascading down until it hits a machine which doesn't ask for anything more. I'm pretty sure there already was or at least I'm fairly certain there was a command for it already. Let's see, Nightbot. Custom. There's exclamation mark BP. I think the cheat sheet one is also old as well. Oh wow, that is older. Exclamation mark cheat. It was already there, was it? Yivy, hello. Yeah, bot ME. It's already there. Oh, it's got the pastebin link though. Yeah, it's got the old link. So I need to change that to the GitHub one. Where was it? The exclamation mark cheat I actually just spotted is DDD Gamers GitHub, which I think is the old one. I don't even know if it goes there anymore. I think he got his own domain for that. I think at some point, probably on the weekend, I'm going to need to audit those commands. Well, I'll leave that to its thing. How's the rest of this looking? Terrible. What's holding up purple? Prod mods. What's holding up prod mods? Nothing, just itself. More faster prod mods, I think. I mean, it makes sense because there's... It makes sense because I didn't really build that many of them. Me? Put that in there. If I was so inclined, I would make use of those. 3... oh, okay. 3 in a mining drill does help on the pollution situation. As I say, if I was so inclined as to actually care about fixing pollution, or minimizing pollution. But this is Factorio. Why on earth would you want to minimize... Oops. Why on earth would you want to minimize pollution? That's a terrible idea. More pollution, more faster, I say. Fixed? Nice. There we go. Koala makes. Okay. We need to stop... Why? Oh, because it's yellow belt, that's why. I was like, why isn't it queuing? And then, yeah, yellow belt. Yellow belt won't do its thingy. Go away, yellow belt. Probably a terrible idea, but I'm doing it anyway. Also, if I was feeling particularly keen, grab that, flip that. I grabbed one too many. Air, flip, plop. And bop. I'll keep the bots busy for a while. Freedom Freedom Tunnel. Is there a clip of the Freedom Tunnel that kills the game? So there was one of the very first multiplayer playthrough I did was a map called Frontier with Colonel Will. What are you trying to do? And so the idea of the Frontier map, if you haven't seen it, probably not at this point, is so the map is divided in the middle by a giant wall. On the left-hand side is an infinite space where the ore is incredibly poor. Like, patches are like 50k, 20k, like absolutely nothing. And then on the right-hand side, and there's also no biters on the left-hand side of the wall. On the right-hand side of the wall is just biter city, but it is exponentially more rich. The theory is that you're supposed to get ore by pushing into the biter territory. The problem is that the newly formed workforce at the time there was existing workforce, but Colonel Will had this idea that if you have enough people building outposts, you can just infinitely turtle behind the wall. Well, it was Colonel Will and Mad Zuri, actually. So the idea was to move 1,000 tiles to the left, well away from the wall, build the base there, keep the biters well out of pollution, and then just have 5 or 6 of us just constantly building outposts. What was that? That was like yeah, that was the first game I ever joined. Hoffney was there, Mad Zuri was there, Butcher, I think. I can't even remember all the names. But yeah, there was like several of us all just constantly building outposts. And yeah, we had like a whole train network on the left-hand side. It was ridiculous. And then there was also the biter push team who was building, or what eventually Mad Zuri built was called the Freedom Tunnel, which was pushing into biter territory. The thing had a row of like laser turrets, gun turrets, and then flanked behind that with laser turrets. And what happened is that as we started getting closer and closer to the rocket silo, because the final part of the game is the save is that you can't build a rocket silo, and the rocket silo is like 3,000 tiles deep into biter territory. You got fairly close to it, to the rocket silo, but then the Freedom Tunnel triggered an attack from the biters, which in turn triggered another attack, which in turn triggered more attacks, And it ends up with this cascade of triggering attacks and triggering the biters, and making the biters attack constantly. Back then, this was version 14. Biter pathing wasn't as good as it is now, and so the game started to slow down, and eventually it ground down to like 3 FPS just from the biters attacking. It the save basically completely died from biter attacks. I think it sort of recovered eventually in single player if you loaded it, then gave it like 5 minutes, and eventually it would spring back to life. Why is there 1,000 bots in the network? Nearly 2,000. That is a bit of an issue. I think I used the wrong signal, didn't I? One day I will learn to not do... This is why you never do... This is why I never normally do auto bot inserters, because it always breaks. Or it's lost its thing entirely. Okay. Well, now we know. I mean, we brought it down to 1,500 at least. Because yeah, these modded roboports only have a few slots available, 3 slots available. So I can't afford to have thousands of robots like in vanilla. There is a Mark II roboport with more slots, however. Yeah, good enough. Alright, we've got a few Mark II mining drills. Seeing as though I just remembered, I should probably do something about that. Where are you going? You're going out there, okay. Can I make Mark II yet? No. What do I need for Mark II? Researching it, that's what I need. It's too bad you can't click and drag these. Kind of a shame. That's all that good stuff. Advanced fuel. Just sprinkle a little go juice in it. Alright, wires. Dun, 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 dun. You. 76k. Less than... how much we're going to say? Say 40,000. It's less than 40,000. Output an enable signal. And then we say set train limits. So we have 1 train right now. You, where are you going to take me? You're going to go... Oh, you're also going to go down there, are you? Very well then. Because I don't believe the train stop limit is set there. No, it isn't. But that's fine, because I need to get down there anyway. What are you running for? Oh. You're still running that. Yeah, still... So, in answer to Spellmaster's question, yeah, it always burns that, then that, then that. But it'll always burn this slot first, then this slot, then this slot. So what'll happen is this coke will get stuck in there forever. Effectively. Unless it goes some super duper long distance travel. Okie day. I need to do the same thing that I did iterated up here. Wow, I cannot press the right buttons. There. Boopity boopity bop. Okay. Should probably change these back over to not them and use inserters, because inserters are actually quicker. At some point, I am going to do the numbers on that. Suppose, you know what? Have your Uh-oh. Sir? You mind, sir? I mean, it probably wouldn't hurt if I... That's coming from way over there. Yeah, this is way into the shroud. Nomming on my precious belt. Yeah, what I was going to do was grab one of them. Them. Maybe even a warehouse. Just get all the inserters on it. Wow, that's really short on plastic. Don't mind, please. There. Fix forever. Is it coal related? No. I mean, it's probably... No, it's oil related. What are you backed up on? Light oil. Thing. I mean, it's not surprising. I did not do anything that even remotely can be measured as ratioing. I probably have far too few machines. This was a known concern at the time that I chose to ignore. That I now need to fix and remedy. Why, you are light oil. You come out of that pump. Like so. And we need some water. And then the gas output, like so. Is it trending downwards? Yes, it is. If I was so inclined as to put some productivity modules in it, that probably wouldn't hurt either. But again, you know, time, effort and such. I'm a busy koala. Ain't no koala got time for that nonsense. Like dealing with pollution, such, and Megabases out there. I mean, it is a slight improvement. Those are going now. Still definitely draining the petroleum gas concerns. It's getting to the point where I really should consider an external... Oh yeah, it's going down. An external oil base somewhere. Really tearing through the... Oh. Have torn through the stone. What's going on there? What is stopping... I mean, apart from these empty belts, which is a bit of an issue. I'm not sure that's intended. Where do you go? No, there. Do you go? You go to... pipans. Okay. I suppose I better plug that in again. Yeah, there's no steel plate, apparently. Steel plate? Iron plate. That goes into thingy plate. So I got a whole stack there. Probably wouldn't hurt to do a stack inserter for both. So is it just a production issue? I mean, yeah. I mean, one of these isn't actually enough. I need 2 rows. But future me problems and all. I'm really only just doing a quick and dirty build to get things going. Not really trying to, have everything perfectly ratioed out. Just sort of duct taping everything together for now, just to keep things moving. And ideally, just, keep going along, and pretend to... Oh, I need more chests. I do keep things ticking over until I can sort out some kind of Megabase design. One of them there, those things. You, Char. That actually goes up. Kind of makes sense when you think about it. Except I want to cap it off like there. Because I is smart, or steel plate. The thing that I came up here to get more of when I was while dealing with the biders, and then I completely forgot to do. The old squirrel projects are back. Trouble today, I had too many things go well, I think. I was going through some Python scripts today for processing some files, and one of them is taking, I would say, is entirely too long. Three will do. 5. Might as well. Yeah, one of the scripts for processing data was taking too long. I should say this, that I've been progressively optimizing it over the last week as well. Before I did any optimization for it, it was just the roughest, dirtiest script ever. Very crudely thrown together. And it was... The data output of the file, it generates a gigabyte... 3 files that are collectively a bit over a gigabyte now in size, and it's still growing. And it was taking like 8 seconds to do that. I've actually managed to get it down. So last week I managed to get that down by a third. Now I've got it down even further. Down to now it's like 5, 6. Yeah. It's now just over a second, 3 seconds to do the lot. No, 2.5 seconds. It's Avi. How you doing? I don't know why I did that. It's not really accomplishing anything. Because all I'm doing is just splitting it in half. So I was trying to not do that, so I'll do that. Buy train soon. Probably unnecessary for this outpost. But realistically, output if I was to do that. Well, that's a ridiculous racket. From 2 is 8 to 2 is decent gains. Yeah, it was. I was quite happy with the result because it was quite a lot. That's all of them, isn't it? Yeah. Most of it was down to using iterator for loop, replacing while loops with for loops. There's still actually a few. There's still a while loop with one of them, but it's 0.13 seconds, so it's fine for now. The biggest killer was that it was doing the full bytes to string decode and doing some other string stuff when it didn't need to. Because it's only passing part of the data set. Actually, no, I misspoke. So the data set starts out as so there's another script that it has before it, which was I wanted to get it up to its speed, the one that turns the the cloud data into the gigabyte, just over 1 GB of files. That one does it in like 0.1 of a second. Like it spends more time waiting for the system write to the disk to actually happen than it does actually processing it. As near as I can tell, it's because it's using for loops and it's reading and writing in binary mode. So it absolutely rockets along, murders along. Okay. Train limits. Away with ye. Go out that way. That way both trains are actually doing something. The next logical step is to actually, I need a holding station somewhere, or holding yard somewhere. But yeah, and then passing, what it's doing is it's extracting some periodic data, environmental data from the dataset for analysis, and yeah, that requires passing all of that gigabyte of data and then building up a CSV of that subset of data. Is it fully built? Yeah, it's fully complete and it's up and running now. Doing its thing. Probably actually get rid of that. The extent of your knowledge is that faster is better? Pretty much. Also, yeah, when it comes to Python, for loops are the best, and not doing stupid things like completely processing a dataset unnecessarily, decoding and processing when you're not actually doing anything. And suddenly, it's a bajillion times faster. Automatically logging into a website today, hunting for details. The best spieling. It actually got me thinking of there it goes. There was this concept that periodically pops up talking about it's been a few YouTube shorts and things, nested if statements. And I don't 100% agree with it, mainly because the examples whenever you see someone make this argument is always just the most contrived, perfect situation. But when it comes to software, at the very least, come on, wakey wakey, hands off Sneaky. In your own time, or am I out? No, I'm not out. Sake, there you go. Instead of just doing blind absolutes, at least, think about it. And I found that since I've started consciously thinking about, do I need to do if statements like this, I've been making much cleaner and code, and it actually indirectly, changing the way that I'm thinking about the algorithm. So instead of doing if else, if else, if else, doing things different, doing like seeing if I can do something without doing if else, which is in turn resulting in pushing things more consistently into functions, packaging stuff into functions, and wow, my brain just is not functioning. Yeah, like ending up with cleaner code in the end, and algorithms or algorithms processes that are more readable, maintainable, and uh, you're talking about functional programming. Not specifically functional programming, but it's more so. I've been trying to take on some of the ideas behind avoiding nested if statements and if else, if else. There are times when you do need if else's. I've found. Yep, okay. But I found that if you're consciously thinking, what can I do that's not an if, or an if else, if else, I found alternative solutions that are better than chaining if statements. The trouble is that I found is that you can also go down the rabbit hole of doing if not something and start using inverted logic, which conceptually is fine, but it's not always maintainable, and it might just give you a giant headache the next time you try and look at it. You think the point of most no nested if pushes is early returns? Yeah, it's that's the other thing too. Is I found I'm making more use of early returns or continues or breaks instead of doing if and else's. And yeah, guard statements are excellent. That was part of the cleanup too. Was that I realized because there was some nested ifs. I realized I actually had two guard statements that were doing effectively the same thing. There was a thing that was meant to continue the iterator. In this case, it was a while loop. Um, in this specific instance, the file reader is a while true. Because pretty much whenever I use a while loop in Python, I only ever use a while true. Similar with C, really. And yeah, just use continues, and then the escape clause is when it runs out of data. When it tries to read the file and it reaches the end of file, then it breaks. But yeah, there was a guard clause looking for the particular line. When it's looking for the particular line, it continued, and then further down, it was checking to see if it was actually valid. Which in theory it does actually need, but that guard clause already says that it's not there. So you can't be in a situation where you found it, but then later on you didn't find it, so it was completely unnecessary. But it didn't change anything with the performance, but it's interesting that just by refactoring it to rely on continues, it immediately stood out. Thing you didn't find in Python, yet it's how they find out if you were at the end of a file. Yeah, I've run into that problem as well. I wish you could do a while not EOF. Yeah, that's the only thing, is that the IO abstraction layer hides the end of file marker from you. At some point, I got to sit down and actually go through the docs for it and figure it out. I've run into other similar weird quirks like well, another one that I actually need to learn is PurePath because that's the modern way of doing it, not using os.path library. But the documentation for path, PurePath is horrendous. I just cannot make any sense of it. It is not meant to be understood by anyone. Now, the thing that I was just reminded to do is I need some stone unloaders as well. So I better get that done. I mean, in the case of testing if something was a file or directory, it also helps if you're pointing it to the right path. Because it returns false because the path doesn't exist. Which is a bit of a oddity. You'd think it'd raise an exception because you're trying to ask if a file is a file or not on something that doesn't exist. But, that's how they've chosen to do it. Alright, you are stone unload. Do I still have the train? Yes, I do. Boop. I mean, in theory, there's that train there. Ba-da-ba-da. Empty cargo, please. But I do actually want both. You don't have to deliver the fuel. I'm going to let you deliver the fuel. You don't have to. Oh, there was something else that I could never find as well. Like, there was another weird oddity. I don't know what it was. Now. Boop, and a boop, and a boop. Suppose that'll do. I mean, technically, that one isn't really necessary. You input priority that. There's a whole argument, most of that is completely redundant. So what I can do instead, which would make a little bit more sense, possibly, do something like that. Yeah. So it sends it across both and yeah. Does stuff and things. Train stop limiter 1, train stop limiter 1 and 1, okay. Matico. Probably, yeah, destination full because that's the only one currently. Next step is to tap into that, I think. That puddle of stone. Which means I need to move, oh, damn it. I need to move that. Or I could tap into, oh, I have to move the biders. I don't want to move biders. It sounds like effort. How are we doing on the research department? Just chugging along? Chugging along barely. What's the struggle bus today? Now it's belt things. Ah, gears, okay. What was I thought that took like forever. No, that's 0.5. Isn't this like, no? Need 4 and 0.5. So you need 8 a second. Doesn't this makes 1 a second? So I need 4. Oh. Okay. I think I've underestimated it slightly. In that case, let's do a bit of that. And flip that around there. It would really pay me significant dividends to actually read these descriptions before mindlessly building crap. There's also an argument that I would actually notice these things if I was actually paying attention and not just mindlessly building crap. Should actually swap those as well. Instead of doing that. And maybe not sending them down to the science machines. There and there. And you slurp that. And you slurp that. And you go in there. In theory, I could actually have stack inserters and, I could do close side of the belt instead of, I could do near instead of far. Something like that, but, then I have to do things. Is it L, I think? No, not L. I don't know what the button was to change it. Ah, well. 23k stack inserters in space exploration so far. And you're still thirsting for more. It never ends, does it? Oh yeah, I need to actually deal with that, don't I? Really annoying, that is. Shiny rocks. Just hold on to the shiny rock. What's the issue with that? Oh yeah, it's not moving because it's backed up. Of course. I knew that. See, there's pythons, spiders to be dealt with out there that I don't want to deal with. Staring at this, and it's like, I don't want to move it. Right, let's go move it. Grab some more stuff as well. For them. For the last science pack, decided to do a massive, massive upgrade. SCK2, 3 months. It's a damn full-time job. Haven't done rebuilding your entire base. See, that's why I don't want to play it, because I don't like mods which become a full job, a full-time job. And I'd argue that space exploration isn't even a full-time job compared to your bobs and your C blocks, and definitely not your pteranodons. Life's too short for that crap. Oh yeah, wasn't there a lightweight pteranodons now? For those who were not masochistically inclined. Those who don't hate life, or whatever. I would never make much of an artiste. I can't paint belt straight. Say that, having done streams where I paint wagons, literally. I suppose that does work out into my favour. I can fuel the train while emptying the boxes. Also, there's no boxes over there. Can I make more? Can make more. Wait, no, those are warehouses. We don't want to make them. Well, we got it done anyway. Oopsie, you're backwards. You see, old habits trying to click and drag, and you can't do that anymore. Not allowed. I'm not actually sure which is quicker at this point. Hey, Spellmonster and Nightbot in it together. We there yet? Yeah, that's not needed anymore. And then it turns out it was actually powering something. Actually, speaking of Python, something that I've also been trying to do is be more object-orientated. I remember being told to embrace classes because I do like structs, but I never normally touch classes, and they were like, if you like structs, you should really, at the very least, try working with classes to structure data the same way. That one wooden power pole that leaves the entire base alive, or like all of the outposts alive. One pole to rule them all. So yeah, now nearly everything that I do is a class. I don't need blueprints for that. Wakey wakey bots. Okay. Oh, that one was actually important. Control V then. Hello, train. Trouble is that I might have turned to the dark side because I've been thinking about doing some stuff with Java recently. So everything was, everything was all going well, and then the J word came up. Oh no. Just the 5, yes. And the world was at peace until the Java nation attacked. Very slowly. Something I'm also keen to learn more about is Wave function collapse. I think I mentioned it a little while ago. Wanting to learn more about it. I'm fairly certain though that it is actually, it was, or at least it was at some point, a different concept. It's just been renamed. Or it's just gained a new name. But I can't think of what it was called. Like, I'm fairly certain I've seen it like 15 or 20 years before, prior. Trialer at a Java conference. Okay, is this actually balancing? That's the question. On 5 to 4. I mean, I suppose I could make it like that. There's no shame in putting some extra lines in to help it along. Now that it's an 8-way. Already in the dark side doing P. Oh, PHP is the true dark side. I tried PHP once a very, very long time ago, and I'm glad that I escaped. I'm glad to have escaped that. That was a mess. The funny thing too is that the little PHP that I did learn a long time ago is completely nothing because it was PHP. What was at the time PHP 3. And you know how PHP is when they change versions, it completely breaks everything. 15k already. PHP's improved so much. I've heard that. But yeah, early like PHP 3 was all awful. It was a horrendous thing. Just barely ticking away that copper outpost. Yeah, 3 was a completely new thing. Had nothing from what I recall, nearly nothing can be brought forward from PHP 2, and then PHP 4, PHP 3, and everything before it could not be brought forward. They had to rewrite everything. I'm pretty sure there was like a subversion of 3 as well, which wasn't incompatible with the earlier versions too. I seem to vaguely remember something about like PHP 3.5. But I might be misremembering. As I say, this is quite a while ago now. Found my happy place anyway, which is Python. 21st century basic. I don't have to do any thinking, the CPython does the thinking for me. Brrr. I realized too that by upgrading a ghost, I've in turn forced the ghost to be blue instead of an upgrade marker. I need to actually program an upgrade planner to fix it. I'm out of thingies, aren't I? Yes. So potential stream, as I was saying before with the wave function collapse stuff, is watching me struggle through trying to learn it. 1, 2, 6. Ah, it's 8. Perfect. Boop. I'll just do the 1. 3, 4. 4. Let's underground that. When I get into my weird belt witchcraft. I mean, Velding's been itching for me to do a stream of me struggling to understand, what's that thing called? Docker, at some point. I'm determined to place all these things on the belt manually. So what is the thingy? I'm gonna watch that later just in case. Docker is a must-have. Yeah, so I keep hearing and I need to get with the times. Trouble is, conceptually, it hurts my head to understand. It's, which is where practical examples would come into play, I think. Which is where I think, going back to pure path in Python before, is that when you look at the dense documentation, it doesn't make any sense. But I'm sure if you just had some examples, it would be pretty straightforward. I think I chose poorly somehow. And excellent. Bitty boopity bop. Back in my day. My day, we had this horrendous iridescent green night vision. This is actually iron, not iron. Yeah. And now we're out of stuff. Because I did a smort and pulled it down when it really doesn't need to, but fine. And theoretically don't have a difference in OS and the conf between dev and prod, and that's the main point to avoid prod-related issues. That was the way I understood it, was it, in the current bland grey is so much better than for night vision. It's like you can almost see things without hurting your eyes. The funny thing is they reintroduced that, this, so if I actually bothered to make that night vision, it's the horrendous green. Can't even have space for it. Yeah, if I get rid of that. Ah. That was Mark II power armor. I should actually get these queued up as well. Gotta have discharge defense. Although in saying that, it's not a meme anymore. It is actually good. Speed up the bots as well. I think I've got everything else that I need for personal equipment for now. Oh no, it's a teeny tiny thing, okay. Well, kind enough. Oh, that's rather thin looking. Oh. Get you out of there. Yeah. I wonder it's looking thin. being compressed through a yellow belt. Hey, look at that. All the labs are going now. Excellent. What is our science rate? 83, 35, 80-ish to 17 a minute, 37 a minute. What the? 1111. Sting? That's... Yeah, 1111. So the previous one was that 1 by 30. Is there a mod that compressed everything? There was a mod that compressed items on a belt. I forgot what it's called though. It created compressed items. Problem is you had to decompress it again at the other end. It was kind of cool, but it really didn't accomplish that much. So why am I seeing a different... Oh no, okay, they're settled down. Never mind. 60 something a minute. 120 with the previous research, so 60, okay. Uh-oh, that's bad sounds. That's... Where the hell did you even come from? Oh, you came from there. Those. They're marked for deconstruction. I will remove... Sir, you have 30 minutes to remove your depleted mining drills. Sir, you have 10 minutes to remove your depleted mining drills. Where's my auto vehicle? There. You have 30 minutes to remove your scrap of a iron mine. Metal ingot in SE is like this, only 10 times more plates. See, that's just unnecessary marathon. Bonk. Could increase the throughput in main line, but you had to be careful to clamp both ends. Yeah. I mean, it's conceptually, you could load it onto trains and make it slightly more efficient that way. But be careful, because there is a train coming. Can I make it? Can I make it? Can I make it? I mean, it had to be tried. Where are they? Just shoot. Shoot first, aim later. Dear. Apparently I collect a little bit of crap along the way. Why? Yeah. Yeah, you are loading. Okay, never mind. Carry on. Is there any other advantage to this thing apart from, yeah, just the mining speed? I suppose there is... There is actually a pollution benefit to using Mark II. As in, it looks like it generates slightly less for the same mining speed. I suppose at some point I should get the blue belt going, because I can now. Nearly. Yeah, I could if I... That's... Oh, that's green belt. There it is. Yeah, can do that. I might do that now. that as well. Don't know that I need discharge defense that urgently. Red. Switch it around. Yeah, look at that lovely iridescent green. You know and love. And that's why I was avoiding the night vision. Or at least the low tier night vision. The problem was it only worked well for things that rely on a per item count, as for example, an item that would normally stack to 200 would compress 10 to 1, get 20 stands. 20, you save no space in cargo holds. Oh, so you're not actually, that's dumb. Yeah, you're effectively just doing a process for the sake of it. You're not actually accomplishing anything. Yeah, that is actually dumb. Ooh, dumb. Like, what's the point of compressing it if you can't hold more of them? I guess that means what they're trying to do is force you to only really use... They're making it impractical to compress items on a train then, or by other cargo means, like a bot. Bonk, it's going to run into everyone. Sir, please move your power pole out of the way. Yeah, that is true. It would speed up unloading and unloading. That is right. Bonk. Maybe I should just leave that area before I do more damage. Yeah, it ultimately comes down to just getting more on getting more out of a single belt, which is something that doesn't matter so much these days. It was something that made sense pre 16 or 17. 17, I think, was the belt optimization. The big belt optimization. 16 had some stuff. I think the big one was 17. Damn, I don't really remember anymore. Alright, give me more of those, please. Thank you. I probably should keep a supply of repair packs on the go too, just in case. It's bigger than 2 to 1. You carry more in the same space, even cargo holds. Yeah. Uh, yeah. It's like the idea of having on-patch smelting because you're effectively carrying more. But that's because the stack size is greater, double. Carrying twice the material. On-patch gears. You say that. I'm fairly certain that has been done before. I think we did that, we as in myself, Colonel Will and crew, did that at least once for one of those space extension playthroughs. Fairly certain we did that. It's actually hilarious to think that back then, I think it was 150,000-ish circuits a minute or something like that. It was circuits or copper wire. I don't actually remember specifically. I think it was copper wire. Was considered an astonishing amount of production. Just the numbers now were just so much bigger. Ridiculous. Oh, that wire was already there. I can't see it because it's hidden by another wire. First one done yet? Not yet. Tickling them now too. I have to go on an adventure. Oh, man, time flies when you're playing this game. I just looked at the time. It's 20 minutes to go. Alright, let's do some biter killing. No, unlock artillery? No. Let's get artillery unlocked. Shell range. I mean, antimatter would be nice too. Where is it? Just that. Metatron? Atomic weaponry? Silo. Where? Military 5. Heavy rocket impulse rifle. There it is, laser artillery. I need quite a lot of things to get that going though. Since I'm so responsive. Wow, I didn't realize I'd become responsive again, but how did I come up with it? Originally, it was a design by Zenith. He had a more complex version. Speaking of that space exploration playthrough, that's actually where it came from originally. His one was a full base, though. And I realized there was some utility in scaling it down to something a bit more smaller and simpler. And that led to the first version of it. Because yeah, he had a whole base that even it did fluid cracking as well and smelting as well as producing the items. It was pretty ridiculous. Can I actually load that save? I don't know if I can. I don't even know if it's even in here. I did clean this folder out. No, it's not in there. Probably can't load it anymore. Yeah, it would automatically allocate smelter. The thing would also allocate smelters for iron or copper as well. Like, it could switch between either. It was ridiculous. Okie day. Direct fire, the whole point of artillery is indirect fire. I mean, you and your logic here, getting in the way of fanciful laser artillery here. Get wrecked. Also, you get wrecked. Because you're hurting my precious, precious artillery. Did I have a damaged one? Can't see where it is. That's probably fine. Yeah, it's fine. There is a heavy laser. I see what you did there. Who was it? It was that came up with the diagram which shows the concept of firing a cannon with enough velocity such that it continues orbiting the Earth. I don't know who did that drawing. It reminds me of that. So it's fine as long as you have a sufficiently heavy, oh, lift to the eyes. Just so much better with railguns. It was something like Da Vinci that did it. It was like a long, long time ago kind of thing. Can I do this from? Yes, excellent. Just do a drive-by mulching of the alien creep. I kind of hate that this is a thing. What else? Someone on call refusing ChatGPT for mass generating answers a week ago. Got a positive feedback. And another similar were deleted and adding comments was disabled. They're entering some strange times now, fortunately. At least for now, that's still a novelty. Kiddo, how you doing? Hello. Good morning. At least for now, it's a novelty, but eventually people are going to unironically, legitimately rely on it, no matter how accurate or inaccurate it is. Which, then you know things are going to go south. I suppose the real question is whether or not it will ever become a decent AI, like Bing and such, will ever become a decent aggregator of information. Ah! I got deaded. I finally triggered it. I wasn't paying attention to health. Sad times. You get to finally hear the manly war cry. Finally. How many playthroughs has it been and I never actually triggered it? Thankfully, oh, that's so many railgun shells that I'm losing. Oh wow, they're really going for it too. On that note. Okay, it's keeping up. Speaking about Bing, yes, that's actually what I had in mind. I mean, ChatGPT can do it as well. Oh, hi, bot. Ugh. That's where I need a backup power armor now. Speaking of, while we're running, what do we need for that? Oh yeah, we need to make some level 2s, that's fine. Portable nuclear reactor's kind of a pain in the ass to make. Or not make, but run. That's the other thing too, yeah, slipping ads in. All kinds of nefarious things can be done. Tick these off too. Okay, so you need imersite crystals, advanced exto, feed 2s. Oh, that's right, we start using up a crap ton of those, don't we? Make 2 instances of ChatGPT talk with it. Make Bing and ChatGPT talk to each other. I think it's also time I actually made some shields and things too. No, go in there. There you go. Google's supposed to have one as well. There we are. That's not the tool I intended to use. That's the one I wanted. Similar thing to what long generated text by ChatGPT will do. It will lose focus, start repeating itself, and be less coherent. Yeah, as it starts trying to fill in what it thinks it should say. Yeah, what I should have done was put those a little bit closer. Get pewed. Is that everyone? Yes, it is. It's interesting how quickly it's taken over the world too. Just so many mundane things. I mean, it's not a new thing too. A lot of YouTubers use AI now for generating video ideas, or even there's been examples of AI generating entire gaming videos because they're so formulaic. Most of the popular ones that it's very easy for them to generate. Using AI to generate blogs. The funny thing is that that's already a thing. If whenever you do a search for stuff now, you'll notice. I've actually been noticing it for at least 3 years, I think. More and more, you'll find these very formulaically written articles on all kinds of web pages, and they're all AI generated. Like if you're searching something in, I particularly find this with, Python's a bit of a mixed bag in particular, doing a search for. I hate those that use it. They are terrible. You can always tell them because they always have very long-winded introductions talking about the thing, and then it'll have a paragraph talking about what it's going to talk about, and then it'll have long-winded sentences going through just the most mundane thing. It'd be trained on its own text. It's self-fulfilling. Uh, uh, Summarize long documents in the legal space. People sift through the documents. I've seen AI used in research to find very obscure, very specific information. I've heard of it being used for finding, on a tangent to that, heard of it being used to look up patents and find loopholes in patents. All those pages that re-index GitHub or Stack Overflow content. Oh yeah, where you want to find something, you think it's something new, but it's just someone who's just rehashed a Stack Exchange answer, and then 99%, 90% of the time, particularly with something like Python, the Stack Exchange is completely wrong, or it's only suitable for that very, very specific use case. That's something I find all the time. Oh, I can't think of what it was. The thing that I was trying to figure out how to do by iterating on something and then modifying it. You can't walk over it with a standard for loop. You've got to do a bit more trickery. And you can't just, juggle some variables around when you're dealing with lists because of the difference between deep and shallow copies. And there was just like nothing talking that actually talked about it. Everyone's like, oh, you just do it this way. It's like, yeah, but that's like the default way of doing it. That's not really useful to me. My use case is different from the here is 5 bananas, here is variable 2 with 7 apples. Do this and then that, and now you have a thingy, thing that does things. And now you know how to do this what's-a-majig. We should not decide to use AI for those. Text scrapers and chatbots fairly advanced, sure, but they require user inputs and can generate replies and data that already exists. That's smart. Patent discovery would be nice to do with AI. Yeah, a lot of things like that have already been, like, people are already onto. Insurance has been using AI for years. Wow, I lost a lot of ammo too. Apparently. Oh, I mean, I did lose a lot of this ammo, but I did lose. It seems like I lost a lot of the other ammo too. I've also cut this off so I can't produce more. Because apparently I didn't cap this chest, so there's a lot of crap in there. Why can't you hide? Ah, I'll just request disabled, of course, because I got deaded. Do like that SETI is using machine learning to teach AI to search through tons of data and find possible signals, training them what you consider alien. Ah, it's actually found a few. That is another clever use. The best application seems to be sifting through enormous data sets to find something obscure. Really good at doing that. I'm going to plop some extra storage just there. Just so it doesn't have to, the bots don't have to travel as far. There we go. I was going to do a thing and I've forgotten what it was. That is what happens every time I play this game. I think one of the next projects will be to export oil to its own area. Probably out here somewhere. I do need to get things progressing. More of them would be good too. Suppose it. Goes to page 3 and beyond Google. People actually make it to page 3 these days? I'm not seeing a lot of electronic components. Why are we not seeing a lot of... Is it just itself, or is it... it is a stone-related issue. See, I could move those poles. I was feeling motivated to. I'm not. I'm just going to let it do as it wishes. AI doesn't know any better, so it goes beyond page 3. It does something even more drastic, potentially as well. It goes all the way to page 7 on Alta Vista. I feel like I need something more here. If you have a bot network, does it pull to blue from yellow before red? Does it choose the closest? It pulls from yellow first. Yellow first or red first? Well, technically it pulls from purple first. Is this still... I don't actually know. I assume it isn't. Yeah, it pulls from red first. Oh man, now I'm second guessing myself. Not gonna lie, that's something I don't miss, is having to sift through 17 different search engines to find something. That was the real revolution that Google brought to the table, was that it was a one-stop shop where you didn't need to wade through a bajillion search results. With ChatGPT, Ask Jeeves will reign supreme again. Rise up. Oh dear. I'm not wrong. Alright, I have a bit of a sledgehammer solution, but it's less thinking. That's no good. There, that's betterer. And just fold them back that way. And put that away. Six, seven. Ask Jeeves, just use Google. Pretty much everyone does. I think there's only like 2 or 3 now. There's like DuckDuckGo, Yahoo, and Google, and that's about it. Does say Yahoo owns it. That doesn't surprise me. Oh. I made a boo-boo. I was looking at like, why isn't it flowing that fast? Yeah, it's not actually raining completely. Thoroughly. And it still isn't. Yeah, I don't use Google anymore. Sort of trending down. Yeah, now it goes. It's just suddenly sort of like draining it out. I mean, I could beacon it. Do I even have beacons unlocked? No, I don't have beacons. And Bing. I actually looked up and then you said and Bing as well. It combines both. Yeah, apparently the Bing AI is actually very up to date and very accurate. Is that all it can do? Yes. I mean, I've managed to bump it up to a higher amount just by doing that. Brought it up to its true state. So, yay. Conceivably, I should probably get 10 sand to 6 quartz. This should really be exported to its own thing. Same with this. And I can just train out those products. Is that the limit of what it can do? Apparently. I mean, I think more sand processing is the way to go. I seem to remember having this problem before, just the sheer volume of sand processing. Where is beacons there? It is. Way through those too. I think there was some variations on it. Microsoft did do a few things here and there. Okay. I could. Oh, I gotta make 25. I gotta handcraft them. Didn't I have a module that did it? Pretty sure. Not seeing it. I do... Yeah, they're only ones. I do tend to avoid using modules of these because they have problems. Yeah, you got to use Edge as well. It's, it's like they have... I mean, it is Microsoft. They're gonna make you use Edge one way or another. It's... No matter what, you're gonna use Edge. 2, 5, and 6. So that's 6 apart. Room for the robo ports. No room for trees, so I'll get rid of them. 100% using my Firefox. I suspect internally it doesn't make a difference what you do. It's mainly the consumer product side that they're pushing it. You need 5 at a time, 5 at a time, and 5 at a time. Next one 4 or 5. Anyway. Windows Deep Loader. What the hell was that crap? I'm not sure if I should be concerned or not as to what you're trying to do there. Got rid of the Google stuff from your PC. It is a good idea. It's very likely also working with Microsoft, you'll be doing a lot of Linux stuff, as I would imagine. I'm kind of curious to find out if how true that is. But if it's if you've seen the guy in Dave's Garage, he shows you how to roll a Linux kernel into Windows. Not a developer? Ah, okay. There seems to be a very different culture to times past. Oh, sort of. Not really, because I think developers are still developers, really. At least as far as that goes. You want red circuits. Also need to go up and unload that, please. And thank you, thank you. Thank you. That was a fun game. The Denki thing came from what was it called? The robot, the cutesy robot game. Yes, that. Ooh, sneezed again. Going the data center side, powering up racks. Oh, okay. You're going to be data center infrastructure. We don't need the second line, realistically. Could do. Like that. I mean, I'm only doing one thingy for now. It's not amazing. But I'm going to have so much busy work that I'm going to need, like, I'm going to be off doing other things, so it can just tick away slowly. Critical environment tech. Duct tape and... duct tape and Velcro strap. Oh, wow. Amazon's... That almost doesn't surprise me either, that they operate like that. Suffering from success, too much success, so they're struggling to scale organizationally. And when you say DC, oh, that needs a lot more. Oh, data center, okay. So they're really struggling to bring up more infrastructure. Which is kind of crazy and scary at the same time. That they're struggling to introduce more data centers quick enough. Going back to work, have a good one. What's the time? Oh wow, it's actually past time. That is a good idea. Tell you what, we'll tweak this and then that'll be it. And possibly for the week, I'm going to do some... I'm going to sort out the VODs for this tomorrow, I think. On Friday. So I won't be doing anything tomorrow, but we will, I think, continue on the weekend. Potentially. So about 60 to 80,000 racks behind schedule. That's a lot of racks. God dang. Oh, that was a strange blur of noises. Causing trouble here, are ye? One, two, three, four. Buzz and thank you. Catch it up over a weekend or two. Yeah, there's a couple of weekends, she'll be right. She'll be right, couple of days. All that. There. So you can actually escape. Beepity, boppity, boopity, loppity. God dang it. Cannot press the right button. It's trying to do something tricky there. There we go, we're thickening it up a little bit. Almost worked. I'm not seeing... That one's backing up. Probably because it's not doing that. Yeah, that's pretty much what he's trying to do by the looks of it. Trying to make it trigger for a specific user. How has that affected things? 2.9 to 4.2. The 3 to 4. Well, not quite doubled it. They've increased it, shall we say. I mean, it's not helped this in the slightest. I think the answer is I need to externalize that as well. Just burning off chlorine. The issue. Yeah. Instead of stopping, it's just burning off both. It's just such a terrible design. Should probably add a separate condition. If both are full, then it doesn't need to burn off both. And then these can back up and be happy. Okay. Oh, doing this on an empty brain is not a good idea. See, I'm already trying to attach it to the spire, not the thingy. Okay, it's finally burnt through it all. Do I need to... See, if I do one, it'll burn off the other. Yes. Do need another one. Which cross-links? I should probably not be trying to do this late. I know. Like that. Null. Dear. I've already forgotten what I was trying to do. So you were chlorine greater than 24,000. 24,000. And with you only hydrogen. Valid variable. I'll put one of you, and put one of you. Try putting a 1 and a 2. Need a red wire there. Red wire there. Then... I think the problem is that I need a... arithmetic, not a decider. Because when it both sees both, it needs to add it up. So A is 2. But 1. So in theory, we're receiving a 1. I think I should probably stop. I cannot think. Alright, let's park it there. We're already 20 minutes over. The article about OpenAI relies on super low wage workers in places like Africa to back up ChatGPT. Remove the bad content. It sounds like something they do. Did you get it? Here we go. Did ChatGPT come up with that? You're lucky it's not actually saying what the perfection Feldek equals Darth Lady. Hey Pack, how you doing? Just RTFM. Was feeding it back error messages. Apparently it doesn't understand Nightbot. Alright, let's park it there. We've had the entertainment. We've seen ChatGPT fail to program a Nightbot command.